Hey everyone, welcome to our deep dive today on AI and the future of marketing. It's a hot topic, that's for sure. And we're diving headfirst into HubSpot's 2024 AI Trend Report, which, by the way, is chock full of insights from over 1,000 marketing pros.
Yeah, it really gives you a feel for the pulse of where things are headed.
Totally. And one of the things that jumps out right away is this massive surge in AI adoption this past year.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking a 74% increase in marketers using AI tools.
Wow.
Yeah, it's huge. Like everyone suddenly decided to embrace the robots, right?
It does feel very sudden, right? Came out of nowhere almost.
I know. So with all this AI excitement, though, there's got to be some hesitation too, right? Like, wait a minute, what about my job?
Yeah, for sure. There are definitely some concerns. And the report actually highlights that. Almost half of the marketers they talked to admitted to feeling a little anxious about AI potentially replacing their roles.
I can see why, right? It's like, are we all going to be replaced by robots?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what happens to strategy, to creativity, to building those essential human connections?
Yeah, and that's where I think this report gets really interesting because it's not about AI replacing marketers. It's about AI giving marketers superpowers, you know?
Okay, I like that. Superpowers instead of replacements.
Exactly. And all those things you mentioned, strategy, creativity, building relationships, those are actually becoming even more important in the age of AI.
So it's less about robots are taking over and more about robots are taking out the trash so we can focus on the good stuff.
Yes, exactly. Think about it. Marketers are already using AI to automate all those tedious, repetitive tasks.
Oh, tell me more about this.
Right. So the report actually says that 75% of marketers are using it to automate tasks right now.
Wow. So that's like saying goodbye to spreadsheets and hello to actually having time for brainstorming and strategy.
Exactly. And it's not just about having more time, right? It's about working smarter. The report also found that 73% of marketers say that AI is helping them prioritize their tasks better.
Oh, that's huge. To-do lists can be brutal.
Right. Imagine how much more productive and less stressed you could be.
Okay, so I'm getting on board with this. But hold on. This report also says that AI is helping marketers become more creative. Now, that's not something I would have expected.
Right.
Because I always thought of AI as this logical data-driven thing.
Yeah.
How does that even work?
Well, it's all about shifting your perspective a little bit, I think. So imagine if AI is your super-powered research assistant.
Okay.
And it can analyze massive, massive data sets and find patterns that we might totally miss as humans. And then it can deliver you these aha moments that can really spark creativity, right?
So AI is not replacing the creative process. It's like giving it a jump start.
Yeah, exactly. And don't forget, you're still the one with the marketing expertise. You're the one who understands your audience and your brand.
Oh, right, of course.
AI is just another tool that can help you connect the dots and come up with those, how did I not think of that ideas?
That's fascinating. Okay, so we're talking about superpowers and aha moments, but let's get real for a second. What about content creation? You know, that thing that keeps us marketers up at night.
Oh, yeah, content creation. It's the eternal struggle.
Right. And this report says AI is about to turn that whole world upside down, especially when it comes to the written word. It seems like almost half of marketers are already using AI for things like writing copy, or even just generating outlines and headlines.
Yeah, it makes sense, right? We are just bombarded with content these days.
Totally.
So AI can help us keep up with that demand, right?
Right.
It can analyze what's working and even predict what people will want to read next.
It's like having a crystal ball, but for content. But it's not just about quantity, is it? The report also found that almost 40% of marketers are using AI to become experts on new topics way faster.
Yeah, that's a game changer for sure.
That's huge, right?
AI can analyze mountains of information in seconds.
Yeah.
And pull out those golden nuggets that we might miss.
Yeah.
Even if we spent days researching ourselves.
I'm sold. But hold on, let's talk about the human element for a second. Because with all this AI-generated content flying around, what happens to that unique voice, that human perspective that makes content really resonate?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, right?
Right.
And honestly, I think it's about finding the right balance. AI is an amazing tool, don't get me wrong. It's great for research, for brainstorming, even for getting that first draft out. But we can't forget about the human touch.
Right.
That's what brings the emotion, the nuance, the real connection with the reader.
So it's not about letting AI write all our content for us. It's more like AI is our writing partner.
Exactly. Think of it this way.
Okay.
AI can build the house, right?
Okay.
But you get to pick the paint colors, the furniture, you make it feel like home, you know?
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. So AI handles the building blocks, and then we get to come in and like add the finishing touches.
Exactly.
But let's be real, there's got to be some downsides too, right? Like things to watch out for when using AI for content.
Oh, absolutely. AI is powerful.
Right.
But it's not perfect.
Okay, so what should marketers be careful about?
Well, one of the biggest things is accuracy. Remember that AI models are trained on tons and tons of data, and that data, well, sometimes it's not totally accurate. There might be biases or things that are out of date, you know? So always double check your facts.
That's good advice in general.
Right. Don't just assume that everything AI spits out is the gospel truth.
That's huge, especially for us content creators.
Yeah.
What else should we keep in mind?
Well, at the end of the day, AI is still a machine, you know?
Yeah.
It can analyze data and find patterns, but it doesn't really get human language and emotion the way we do.
That's where we come in.
Exactly. That's where your expertise is still super valuable.
So we've talked about how individual marketers can use AI, but what about the people actually running the show? What are marketing leaders saying about all this?
Well, it definitely seems like they're paying attention. And you know what's interesting?
What's that?
A lot of organizations, they haven't actually created like formal AI policies yet.
Interesting.
But the report, it says there's a ton of support for AI, just, you know, verbally.
Right.
Like people are open to it, but they're still figuring things out.
So it's like a proceed with caution kind of thing?
Yeah, exactly.
Makes sense.
And marketing leaders, they want to see those results.
Of course, right. Got to show that ROI.
Exactly. And actually, speaking of results, over half of the leaders they surveyed said they're already seeing a positive return on their AI investments.
Wow, that's huge.
Right.
Especially for those who might still be on the fence about it.
Yeah. I mean, when you can actually show that AI is boosting the bottom line, that's a pretty compelling argument.
Yeah, totally. But I'm curious, what does that look like in reality? Like, what are some of the actual benefits that these marketing leaders are seeing from using AI?
Well, for one thing, it's making teams way more efficient.
In what way?
Like, AI can streamline workflows, take over those tedious tasks.
Oh, right. Like the stuff we were talking about earlier.
Exactly. So marketers have more time to focus on the stuff that really matters.
Strategy, creativity, all that good stuff.
Exactly.
It's like AI is doing all the heavy lifting.
Yes.
And the marketers finally have time to, breathe and actually think.
Exactly. And because AI is so data-driven, it can also help leaders make smarter decisions.
Oh, interesting.
Right. Like about everything from targeting and budgets to like their whole content strategy.
Data-driven decisions, gotta love it.
And you know what else that means? What?
AI can help us create those super personalized experiences for customers.
Now that's huge. Everyone's talking about personalization these days.
Right. And AI can analyze customer data on a whole other level.
Okay.
And then we can use that to personalize messages, offers, even entire customer journeys.
So it's like hyper-personalized marketing powered by AI.
Exactly.
Okay, so it sounds like we're headed towards a future where AI is an essential part of marketing. But like with any new technology, it's all about, using it strategically and responsibly.
Absolutely. AI is a tool, and it's up to us to make sure we're using it the right way.
Well said. Well said.
AI, huh? Everyone's talking about it, right? Like it's going to magically solve all our marketing problems. But I gotta admit, there's a part of me that's a little, freaked out. Like, what if it takes my job?
You're definitely not alone.
I know.
Yeah, we were just digging into this HubSpot report, 2024 AI Trends for Marketers. And honestly, that fear is like a recurring theme. A lot of marketers are feeling the pressure to become AI gurus practically overnight.
Makes sense. Everything in marketing moves so fast already. Now it's AI on top of everything else.
Right. And the report actually found that 57% of marketers feel pressure to learn AI or risk becoming irrelevant.
Wow, 57%. It's like almost everyone. No wonder everyone's suddenly an AI marketing expert on LinkedIn.
Exactly. But here's the thing. Remember what happened with those social media tools that promised to write all our captions for us?
Ugh, don't remind me. Total letdown.
Right. It all sounded so great in theory. But did those tools deliver?
Not even close.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, you can't replace that human touch. And that's actually a key takeaway from this report. It's not about AI replacing marketers. It's about AI giving marketers superpowers.
Okay, I like the sound of that. Superpowers. So it's like AI as our trusty sidekick, not our replacement.
Exactly. It's about working smarter, not harder. In fact, the report found that 68% of marketers say AI has helped their careers.
Okay, that is pretty interesting. So more than half are feeling this pressure, but most are saying it actually helps.
That's the thing. They're using it to take care of all those tedious, repetitive tasks, and then they actually have the time and mental space to focus on, the fun stuff. The strategy, the creativity, the big picture thinking.
It's like AI is finally giving us permission to actually enjoy our jobs again.
Right.
So less about robots stealing our jobs, more about robots doing our chores so we can focus on being creative. I'm into it. So speaking of which, I hear this HubSpot report actually outlines 7 specific ways AI is giving these superpowers, boosting marketing careers as we speak. And since this is a deep dive and we're all about giving our listeners actionable advice, let's break them down, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right, so superpower number 1, automation. And honestly, I think we all saw this coming, right? Handing off those repetitive, time-consuming tasks to our good friend AI. And I'm not just talking about scheduling social media posts here. This is next-level stuff. Think about personalizing hundreds of emails to subscribers. AI can dive into that data, tailor subject lines, even adjust the content itself, all for maximum impact.
Right. And that's just one example.
Oh, for sure. Imagine this. Instead of spending hours, days even, trying to come up with the perfect keywords for your next big blog post, AI swoops in. It analyzes all those search trends, digs through the data, and boom, delivers a curated list of the highest impact terms.
It's like having an incredibly efficient assistant who just gets you.
Totally. Which brings us to superpower number 2, better task prioritization. Because let's be honest, how often do we get bogged down in busy work, right? We're all guilty of it. But AI can actually help us cut through the noise, identify those tasks that are actually going to move the needle.
It's about working smarter, not just harder.
Exactly. You're not just spinning your wheels, you're laser focused on what truly matters.
And that kind of clarity can be a game changer.
Huge. Okay, now for a big one, and I think this is where some people get nervous, superpower number 3, increased creativity.
Right, because some people think AI is going to, stifle creativity.
Exactly. But actually, this report found the opposite. Get this. 86% of marketers said AI saves them at least an hour a day on creative tasks.
Because it actually helps you break through those creative ruts. It's like having a brainstorming buddy, tossing around ideas, suggesting new approaches you might not have even thought of.
Well, it's not about replacing your creative vision. It's about giving you the space to actually have those aha moments.
Exactly.
I love that. Okay, so we've covered automation, prioritizing tasks, and even boosting creativity. What's next?
Okay, so we've got AI tackling our to-do lists, sparking our creativity. But what about the big question?
You mean?
Job security.
Ah, right to the point. Right. Because it's great that AI can write a blog post, but what if it learns to do my whole job? And that's where superpower number 4 comes in, right?
You got it.
Okay, so what is it?
Improved career prospects.
Wait, really? So AI can actually make my job more secure?
That's what the report found. It sounds counterintuitive, but it makes sense when you think about it.
Okay, I'm listening.
Marketers who embrace AI, they're not just order takers anymore, right? They're strategic thinkers, they're problem solvers. They're the ones bridging that gap between, creativity and technology.
So they become even more valuable to their companies.
Exactly.
Okay, I like where this is going. So it's less about will AI replace me and more about how can I use AI to level up.
You got it. Which brings us to superpower number 5, increased adaptability.
Okay, because the marketing world moves fast enough as it is.
Tell me about it. So the marketers who can adapt quickly to new tech, new trends, they're the ones who thrive. And AI actually helps with that.
Really? How so?
Well, it allows for more experimentation. You could test out different strategies, analyze what's working, and then pivot super quickly.
All thanks to our AI assistant.
Exactly. It's like having a built-in feedback loop, constantly refining, optimizing.
Love it. Okay, what's next on our list of AI-powered superpowers?
Okay, this one might surprise you. Superpower number 6, increased job satisfaction.
Wait, more AI equals happier marketers.
I know, right? But it makes sense when you really think about it.
Break it down for me.
So you're free from all those tedious tasks, you're empowered to be more creative, you're actually seeing better results because of those data-driven insights. I don't know about you, but that sounds pretty good to me.
I mean, you're not wrong. Okay, so we've talked about how AI can benefit individual marketers, but what about the big picture? How are companies actually using AI to achieve their goals?
That's where things get really exciting. The report actually interviewed a bunch of marketing leaders, the folks calling the shots.
The big bosses.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they are incredibly optimistic about AI's potential to seriously drive business growth.
I can only imagine. So what are they most excited about? What are those key areas where they see AI having the biggest impact?
So they highlighted 4 main objectives.
Okay, let's hear it.
Number 1, fresher marketing strategies.
Makes sense. We're already seeing how AI frees up time and gives us those awesome data insights.
Exactly. And these marketing leaders, they're using that extra time, that mental bandwidth to think bigger picture, to come up with more creative and impactful campaigns.
Because when you're not bogged down by those little details,
the big ideas can actually surface.
Exactly. Love that. What's objective number 2?
Improved sales performance.
Music to any marketer's ears.
Right. And this is where AI's ability to personalize the customer journey really shines. AI is analyzing all that data, creating these hyper-targeted messages and offers that really resonate with individual customers.
It's not just about casting a wide net anymore. It's about, precision targeting, hitting the right person with the right message at the right time.
Exactly. Which, of course, leads to more conversions, higher sales, the whole shebang.
Makes sense. What's number 3?
Stronger customer relationships.
Because in today's world, that's everything.
It really is.
Yeah.
And AI can actually help us build those relationships, make them even stronger by personalizing every single touch point.
Okay. How so?
Think about it. AI is looking at customer data, right?
Yeah.
It knows their preferences, their past interactions, their pain points even. So now you can tailor those email campaigns, personalize the website experience, really make those customers feel seen, heard, valued.
It's like having a dedicated concierge for every single customer. That's incredible.
Right. And last but definitely not least, objective number 4, optimized content creation.
Of course. We've already talked about how AI can help us write, but this is about more than just automation, right?
Oh, yeah. This is about strategy. It's about using AI to understand what kind of content your audience actually wants to see, what formats work best on which platforms, even predicting what topics are going to be trending in the future.
So we're not just throwing content at the wall and hoping something sticks.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
AI's taken the guesswork out of it. It's like having a crystal ball, but instead of vague predictions, it's giving you hard data.
I like the sound of that a lot better than a crystal ball. Okay, so after diving deep into this report, it feels like AI is becoming less of a nice-to-have and more of a must-have for marketers.
Oh, absolutely. And the marketing leaders interviewed in this report, they totally agree. They're not just dipping their toes in the AI pool.
They're diving right in.
Head first. They're recognizing that this isn't just a trend. It's not going away. This is the future of marketing.
So where does that leave us, the listeners, the folks trying to navigate this crazy world of marketing? What's the biggest takeaway here? I think it's this. AI isn't some big scary monster lurking in the shadows waiting to steal our jobs.
Right.
It's here. It's evolving. And it's already changing the game for marketers who are brave enough to, embrace it.
And those who do, they're the ones who are going to be leading the charge, shaping the future of the industry. And frankly, they're going to be having a lot more fun while they're at it.
Yeah.
Because when you strip away all the hype, all the fear-mongering, AI is really about freeing us up to do what we do best.
Be creative, be strategic, and actually connect with our audiences, on a human level.
Exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself.
So if you're ready to dive even deeper into the AI rabbit hole, which, let's be honest, who isn't? We've got you covered. We'll have a link to that full HubSpot report in our show notes, so definitely check it out. Tons of great insights, stats, tips, all that good stuff.
And while you're there, let us know. What was your biggest takeaway from this deep dive? Anything surprise you? What questions do you still have about AI in marketing?
We might even feature your question in a future episode, so don't be shy. Until then, happy marketing, everybody. Means what?
AI can help us create those super personalized experiences for customers.
Oh, that's huge. Everyone's talking about personalization these days.
Right. And AI can analyze customer data on a whole other level.
Oh, yeah.
And then we can use that to personalize messages, offers, even entire customer journeys.
So it's like hyper-personalized marketing powered by AI.
Exactly.
Okay, so it sounds like we're headed towards a future where AI is an essential part of marketing. But like with any new technology, it's all about, using it strategically and responsibly.
Absolutely. AI is a tool, and it's up to us to make sure we're using it the right way.
Well said, well said. And on that note, I think it's time to wrap up our deep dive on AI and the future of marketing. But before we go, one last thought for our listeners. As AI becomes more common in marketing, what excites you the most? And what worries you? We'd love to hear your thoughts. That's all for this deep dive. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next time.
Tech lovers, I hope you found today's recap informative and engaging. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your fellow tech enthusiasts. For more in-depth breakdowns of the latest tech trends, subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell. And remember, we're always open to your suggestions. Drop a comment below with your ideas for future videos. Until next time, stay curious and stay connected. See you in the next one.